Hi everyone, we had a quite impressive session overall today in the stock market with all of the indexes rallying on very nice volume. Even though it's not shown here, the Nasdaq volume was higher than the day before and well above average. The S&P 500 also had volume above average, but it wasn't bigger than the day before. But the most important development overall for our technical indicators is looking at all of these different lines that you're seeing right here. The MACD line, the TSV line, the stochastics line, and the Wilder's RSI line. They're all starting to trend higher. They have set higher highs and higher lows, and their moving averages, even though you can barely see this MACD one, have all turned up. So now we finally, for the first time since this 2-month very volatile consolidation pattern has started, which made it look like one week we're breaking out, the next week breaking down, the next week breaking out, next week breaking down, the very next week breaking out, the very next week breaking down. It finally appears that now we do want to break out. So it's been a fun 2 months, but it looks like it could be over because not only are the indexes acting like this, but we have tons of stocks breaking out and tons of stocks building right side of bases on extremely strong volume. So if we fail this pattern, it's going to be even uglier, but I just don't see it right now. I mean, anything can happen in the future, but right now everything's indicating that we're going to go higher. So you see on the NASDAQ, you see we're breaking out above a downtrend line. I guess if I just draw this trend line connecting this point here through here, you can see that we're just breaking out above that downtrend line. Now the next step is now to break out above the recent highs back here in December. We can get above these highs, it'll be clear sailing ahead, and our market models will all turn into under a buy signal. But for now, we just remain under an operational neutral signal. The Russell 2000 is inches away from being at all-time new highs, and it too now has everything in confirmation. Wilder's RSI, stochastics, time segment volume, moving average, convergence, divergence. It's all confirming the move now. S&P 500, same thing. It has retaken its 50-day moving average. This time we have every oscillator under an uptrend. As you can see here before, when we were trying to uptrend back here in January, the two previous times, we had mixed oscillators. We had some heading lower, some heading higher. They are all now heading higher. So once again, more confirmation. So while the market is strong, overall, we need all of my hedges are now off. The SQQQQ, the SDOW, and the SPXS have been fully sold off. SOXS more came off, and I think there's only a quarter of the position left. And if it gets below these lows right here, SOXS will be off. So that's our last hedge. And once again, we have a ton of new long signals tonight, but all these long signals will get us back to fully invested. We're about 25 to 30% in cash right now, but after tonight, if everything hits, we will be nearly fully invested. The first long to go over is AMBA. This is a CanSlim and Perfect Speculator quality stock right here. It is that's why I couldn't see it. Okay, 2-day chart. Now it's on a daily. It is breaking out above this pennant formation, basically this little like flag-like formation on strong volume with a pocket pivot point signal. After hours, it was down quite a bit, but I see now it's like up right around 0.5%. And so the key is in the morning, if it's opening below 56.08, the trade is completely off. If it's opening below 56.53 but above 56.08, half of the trade goes on. Tight stops. We won't lose much money if we're wrong. Besides AMBA, we also got another CanSlim and Perfect Speculator breakout. LCI, however, it's a little too extended for me right now, so I'm not that into getting long here, but I've got I'm going to set limit orders right here. I don't want it to show. So it'll be right about here. Be right around the 5150 area. So we're going to do limit orders at 5150. That'll lessen our risk if the stock does not move higher. But it's not only in the Perfect Speculator scan, it's also in the CanSlim scan and my price volume surge scan. So it's a very high quality signal tonight. Also AGN, Allergan Incorporated, that's being bought out by ACT. I'm going to go with the AGN chart because it's also in the pre-Perfect Speculator scan, and it's a CanSlim stock. Heavy volume, pocket pivot point signal, all is good. We don't risk much if we're long. And then also tonight, LNKD, LinkedIn. This stock has, thanks to this market, went long, got whipped out, went long, got whipped out, went long, got whipped out, and now unfortunately, of course, after hours, it's now up 10% after posting amazing earnings. But It's breaking out to new all-time highs on strong volume, so it is a buyable gap up. The positions I just showed, LCI and AGN, if LNKD was not gapping up and instead would open around 237.97, all of these are 6% long positions. I'm giving each position 2% for each scan it made. So if it made in the CanSlim scan, 2%. If that stock is also in the Perfect Speculator or Pre-Perfect, 2 more percent. And if it's in my price volume scan, another 2%. So LinkedIn, AGN, and LCI make that test. AMBA is not in my perfect, or is not in the price volume scan, so it did not make it. Also, MSTR is a new long. Once again, gonna have to work limit orders right above these most recent highs from 2 days ago, so it's around 171 or 172. I'm not quite sure, as I don't have that data in front of me, but I've already entered my limit orders. I think I would remember it. I think it's 171.02 or something like that. But MicroStrategy is in my pre-perfect speculator scan. Earnings estimates for 2015 and 2016 are huge, so it will soon be a CanSlim stock. Obviously, at $174 per share, it's quality stock, so MSTR is 2%. Also, INT, a stock that we had long, that once again, the volatile market shook us out of our position. It now looks like it wants to blast off higher, so we're going to put this position back on. It's only in the price volume scan. However, within the next quarter or two of earnings, whenever it comes out, it will be a CanSlim quality stock also. And then our one last new long position is brand new, NVRO. If you remember yesterday, we put buy stops on this thing. If it made a move right above the 128 highs of 47.53, we would have been long. But now we get to get long before that happens because we got a pocket pivot point signal today, which tells us that this stock is ready to break out. So there's no reason to wait till we actually cross that price level. We'll go ahead and get long here using yesterday's low a day as our first cut loss level. And if you want to, now that we're looking good in the market, you can use the 41.20 level as your ultimate cut loss. And then the best one hopefully tonight is from CBPO. This is a stock we are already long. Unfortunately, once again, we were long back in October, but thanks to December and January, we've been chopped out of a lot of our position. However, the good news is we still have a lot of it left. But today we've got an extremely strong pocket pivot point signal. CBPO is a CanSlim quality stock, is a perfect speculator scan quality stock, and is in the price volume scan. So this ad signal is going way outside the box. I'm doing something I normally don't do. I don't think it'll cost me because my sell stops are going to be what I risk, about 1.5% to 2% to 2.5% at max if I'm wrong. So my sell stops are going to be tight because this is a tight price pattern it's breaking out of. But CBPO 6%. So AMBA 4, NVRO 2, LCI 6, MSTR 2, LNKD 3, half a 6, AGN 6, INT 2, CBPO 6, and that will have us fully invested if this market's going to run. If not, our sell stops are there to protect us. And the only other, I think, work that we need to do, we have two other sells. TMF has been a long-term winner for us. Since our initial long position to now, we have a 36% gain, which is pretty crazy considering it's just bonds. It's just the bond yield, really. So we'll go ahead and take partial position with the 25% sell signal with the above average volume sell below the 20-day moving average. And MUSA is doing the same, so that's a 25% sell signal. Got to raise the final sell stop to the break-even level. We don't want to lose money now that we're under a buy signal on any long position.